What's up, nerds, and welcome to Really Sophisticated. I'm your host, John Carter. Joining me here is our boy, Ryan Bredeweg. We are on take 4 of the podcast today. Why don't you go ahead and explain why we're on take 4?
Because John can't keep talking if he doesn't have it typed out in front of him. So we've done great. There's been so much gold recorded in this studio right now. And then I'm back here behind the mic and John's looking at me and he just gets so frustrated. It's over immediately. So we've been doing great. There was 14 minutes of good stuff. And then he's like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And then he set me up a teleprompter so I could see his wonderful outline of what we're supposed to talk about, because I bring up other things that are currently happening in sports world. And since John doesn't have it typed out because he is my planner, which is great because I don't plan anything. So he plans, but if he's not planning to talk about it, he gets super frustrated and it's over.
It's over. Yeah, I got really frustrated and I pretty much said, fuck this, I'm taking my toys and going home.
3 times.
3 times for about, 20 minutes worth of content?
And it was fantastic. And he just didn't want to edit it together to make it phenomenal. So I'm not going to talk for a minute and you get through whatever you need to get through.
We're going to get through the housekeeping.
You didn't even do that the first time.
Okay, well, we're going to get through housekeeping this time. If you haven't noticed already, we have new cover art for the podcast. Basically, just trying to brighten things up a little bit. Obviously, the podcast is going to remain kind of centric around sports, but it also invites some people in who may not come to the podcast solely for the fact that it had the sports players on it and whatnot, as well as the fact that it gives Ryan and I both a little bit of an out whenever we have a main topic that doesn't revolve around sports. Obviously, things are going to be sports-centric still with this podcast, and that's the plan moving forward, but there might be times where we talk about personal events or stuff like that that's not 100% geared towards sports, but we will find a way to tie it all in together. As far as dropping the podcast on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, we're just going to start calling it Tuesdays, because as we upload the episodes and they get streamed out to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, everything doesn't sync up all at the same time. So from now on, we're just going to call it Tuesdays. So make sure you tune in on Tuesdays as we drop new episodes.
And this is what happened last time. I wanted him to keep going so he could get all his housekeeping done, because the first time I interrupted during this little segment, and then he got frustrated and got... I got frustrated? Yeah.
I got frustrated? All right, so...
You're the one that's been starting us over every time, so
right,
yes.
Well, let's keep rolling. Current events. We're going to go ahead and knock baseball out of the way. It looks like I was completely fucking wrong last week. I believe I called it a Phillies-Astros World Series. It is, in fact, now a Rangers-Diamondbacks World Series.
He was just so gathered up in the Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce hype at the Phillies game on opening night of that game.
They were shotgunning beers with a Phillies fanatic.
Nobody cares about the Phillies fanatic. Everybody was just there to see Jason Kelce and his brother, because Jason Kelce is the Philadelphia Eagles.
I concur, 100%.
So, moving on from baseball, you were wrong.
Why were you wrong? Why was I wrong? Because I suck. So now we have a tied series tonight. The Diamondbacks won. Rangers won game 1. So 2 games in, we are tied 1-1. I believe the next game is going to be Monday before this podcast even drops, because now it's dropping on Tuesdays. There will be another game mixed in with that series. Talking about football, man, Chris Olave getting arrested for doing 30 in a 70 mile an hour speed zone.
He was doing 30 in a 70 mile an hour speed. Holy shit, Batman. He was arrested for going under the speed limit. No, he was going 70 in a 30 mile an hour speed zone. You can't read your own outline, so who needs it more?
That'd be me. Yeah, Chris Olave arrested for doing 70 in a 30 mile an hour zone.
Yep, what an idiot.
What an idiot.
Especially after the whole Henry Ruggs situation. About a year ago, he was arrested, killed a woman. Tragic accident. But you'd think this is all so fresh in their minds. NFL teams should have been harping on, like, hey, let's be smart. And Yeah, he just wasn't that intelligent about this situation and thinking he just because he was a professional athlete saying, hey, I'm on the Saints.
And?
Yeah. Like that's going to get you out of it?
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
No. Chris Olave, if you're listening, make better choices.
And you're a phenomenal football player, but let's just make better choices because you are also a role model for so many kids and stuff looking to do what you do now.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Chris Olave, if you're listening to this, which I highly doubt you are, but if you are, we would love to have you on the show. Shameless plug. Brock Purdy was in concussion protocol. Now it looks like he will play on Sunday.
As of like 10 hours ago, Adam Schefter tweeted that Brock Purdy has cleared concussion protocol. He has no injury designation ahead of Sunday's game versus the Bengals. So,
all right, looks like we're going to get to see him play.
That's a first this year that has cleared concussion protocol under a week. So
everybody else who has been in concussion protocol has missed at least one game, if not more.
Yeah, so let's see if he actually plays. As of right now, it looks like he's probably going to.
Yeah. NBA kicked off. Also, James Harden was in the news. He has been demanding a trade with the 76ers, did not participate in camp, did not participate in practice sessions or anything like that, was not cleared to play by the medical staff. And then kickoff game came and he's like, I'm going to play. 76ers said, no, you're not. Looks like the 76ers basically laid down, the long arm of the law on James Harden.
We'll see. He's going to get... I don't know if he's going to get traded because we've seen too many... I mean, that's just how the NBA works, though. If you're a big enough name, you say, I want out, you're going to get out. I mean...
Look at Kevin Durant last year.
Kevin Durant did get traded by Brooklyn last year after he said he wanted out. Now he's at the Phoenix Suns, by the way.
Yep.
It happens, and contrary to your belief, I still think James Harden is a good basketball player. Last year, he played great. He led the league in assists. So we'll see. He might get traded. He might not. Just kind of have to wait and see what happens with that. But it doesn't help when you call out your GM when you're in China on some kind of tour saying he's a liar. Probably doesn't help your situation.
Yeah, I've noticed here with professional athletes here recently that they get these little bugs in their ear about, well, you could be worth more, you could be better, you deserve more. And I'm not saying that they don't. But it seems like there is this ongoing battle between owners, players, and the organization as a whole. And I believe that at the end of the day, they're forgetting that this is the only space that they truly have to do the things that they do.
Look at Travis Kelce. Easily the greatest tight end in the NFL.
Ever.
Well, he's statistically the greatest tight end ever already.
Right.
So he makes, like $14 million a year, which is phenomenal. But he could be making 30, 35, 40. He could be making quarterback money at the tight end position because he is a receiver that plays tight end. But he knows if he does that, he's hurting his team. He wants to win. He wants to keep winning Super Bowls. So he takes less money just to be on a good team with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, and not only that, but I feel like Travis Kelce is a little bit more humble. He's still out there, but he's a little bit more humble than a lot of these other guys who are out there who are doing phenomenal things, but yet he remembers that at the end of the day, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Well, and that's where the NBA... I mean, the NBA can, though. They're all guaranteed contracts. Superstars run the league. I mean, not calling out LeBron. LeBron is probably one of the greatest players of this generation, but he's done the same thing. But every time he commits to a team, I'll give him that, he plays out his contract.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll give him that credit. He doesn't sign like a 7-year deal and then all of a sudden a year into it cries about it and leaves. So I'll give him that at least.
Yeah.
Now you can move on to your next housekeeping.
Let's talk about hockey. It still exists. Not really much going on. It's the beginning of the season. We have 3 teams, I believe, the Avalanche, the Bruins, and I forget who else. We're all tied with 6 wins to start off the season. I don't think that's ever happened before. So congratulations to those teams. And that's really all we have for hockey right now. We will obviously continue with current events for hockey as they become available. College football. The University of Colorado Buffalo lose to the UCLA Bruins today. And I think we need to take a minute and talk about that.
Hey, they're 4-4. They won 1 game last year all season. So the Dion effect is real. He went in there and said he's bringing his luggage named Louis. That's how he addressed his team first team meeting. Got rid of a bunch of players, brought in like 82 new players to like 100-something man roster. He's flipped the culture. He's doing the whole Dion effect. I didn't expect him to go deep into the college playoffs this year. It's year one.
I don't think a lot of folks realize that he was not going to come in year one and take them to one of the major bowls. They may be eligible for a minor bowl. Probably going to see them more in like the Little Caesars Bowl or
pizza.
or something along those lines. All right, so college basketball is headed up our way. November the 6th, we have tip-off for college basketball.
Doesn't matter.
It does if you're a University of Kentucky Wildcats fan.
Nope, doesn't matter. Nobody cares about them. Nope. Nobody cares about anything college basketball related until March Madness. That's when it actually matters.
I will say that March Madness definitely makes everything fun. Again, the brackets and stuff like that do make it fun, but I am looking forward to college basketball. It's just something else to watch. That's
you ain't going to watch it. Football's the only thing that matters right now.
So, moving on. Let's talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. And I think we kind of have a little bit of a difference of opinion on this one, which I think will make for a great episode. But basically talking about how streaming has killed the live sports star.
I mean, there's an argument to be made either way here, honestly. But you could say they're hurting live sports. You could also go on the other side of it and say they're helping live sports because all the money they're bringing in, how it's not just Dish Network has Sunday Ticket every year that nobody wants to pay for Dish Network plus Sunday Ticket. So there's a lot of good streaming services out there. It's kind of getting absurd with some of the price hikes every 3 months that we're going through. But all I have is streaming services in my house. So I obviously like them, but don't like how every 3 months we get a price hike or notification of something that they think they need to do and it's hurting their customers.
Yeah, let's be very clear here with everyone who's listening. Ryan and I both have streaming services in our home. So just to be abundantly clear, we're not shitting on streaming services as a whole because we have them. We're just going to talk about how it's impacting sports.
And complaining about the price hikes.
Yeah, fuck those prices. So, let's go ahead and kind of talk about the streaming services, and I'm sure that there's more out there. We're just kind of touching the tip of the iceberg here. Things that my wife will never do. Love you, babe. So,
why is it cold?
So, we're going to talk about Disney, Hulu Plus, and ESPN Plus. Obviously, with ESPN Plus, we saw the European games this year. We saw the London game. With Disney Plus, we saw the Toy Story game. Amazon Prime, that's the only place that you can watch Thursday Night Football, is if you have Amazon Prime.
Let's just stop there. Prime is doing the best job at streaming football on Thursdays, too. Their Prime Vision, greater than any other network does. I love how you can see your fantasy stats if you want to see. You see where every player lines up on the offense. You know who's out there. I think Prime does it the best right now, and every other platform needs to take from them what they're doing because they still stream the best, even though it's a standalone Thursday night. They're the only ones that have it. I would pay for that every day of the week if I could get that on every NFL game.
Yeah, and, they're not the only ones doing it. Apple TV Plus does Friday Night Baseball. Max is doing the playoffs for baseball, so they're streaming the World Series. And go ahead and say it.
Playoffs? Playoffs? What are you talking about, playoffs?
I believe they also have some of the rights to some of the Major League Soccer games, a sport that we will probably never cover on this show.
But if you want to watch them, they're on Peacock.
On Peacock, on Apple TV.
Which is another streaming service. Peacock.
What a fucking name. So, I mean, let's just talk about it. I mean, if you wanted to watch every single game of any particular sport, you're going to have to piecemeal together a package of all these different streaming services. I mean, cable's long gone. Even Spectrum has dropped ABC and ESPN right now because they're in legal battles because of all the exclusive content they're not handing over to companies like Spectrum. And Spectrum has dropped those channels from their lineup.
I'm pretty sure they worked out that deal with ESPN, if I'm not wrong.
I don't have Spectrum, so I don't know. I just remember.
Obviously, I don't either, but I'm pretty sure that was solved a couple weeks ago, so you're a little out of date on your information, but it's fine.
I do what I do. The cost of basic cable itself has gone up. Used to be when we first started, when it came to streaming live TV, we started off with DirecTV Stream when it had its first iteration. And we got grandfathered in on the plan because we were unlimited AT&T subscribers, where we only paid $15 a month to get basically everything that cable offered, minus the additional HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, everything, as far as premium content is concerned. So at the time, it was a great deal, especially because you could then log into each respective app and watch the on-demand stuff because you had the plan attached to it with regular TV.
Yeah, I never had DirecTV Stream. I think we had DirecTV there for a while through our satellite and all that stuff. Never actually had like the app version where I was grandfathered in, but yeah, it's what, like $75 a month now?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So going from 15 to 75, that's a big change.
Yeah, no, it's a huge change. So we originally started at 15 because we were unlimited subscribers. Then it went up to 35, and then it went up to 55, and then 65, even being the discount that we got for being unlimited plan users. And we finally said fuck it, and we went with YouTube TV because it was a better deal.
And now that's not even true.
No, it's not.
Because YouTube TV keeps racking up their price for their streaming service.
And the only one that I would argue is even remotely affordable, if you want to put air quotes around that, Sling TV. But even then, you have the blue, you have the orange. ESPN is only available, I believe, on the orange.
I don't know. That I've looked into Sling. It confuses me every time.
It's really fucking confusing.
And yeah, you're missing a lot of stuff I've noticed on those two things. So Sling is affordable. There's so much missing on their platform.
Yeah. I think the NFL has tried to maybe do something right. I don't really think that it's working right now, but I think that it could work in the future, and that's something we can talk about. But basically right now...
You're talking about NFL Plus.
NFL Plus. Get your local games for $6.99 a month. And drink a beer and hit your wife and kick your dog. Because that's what we do around here.
Disclaimer, I don't support any of that last stuff he said. You can come arrest him, whatever, file charges. Don't hit your wife, kick your dog, or whatever else you said. You can drink beer, that's fine.
Yeah, drink beer. Did a little research on NFL Plus. For $6.99 a month, you can watch local. So your local games. So whatever is being broadcast on your local ABC, NBC, Fox, you can watch those, as well as the primetime games.
Only on your tablet, correct?
Only tablet, on your phone or tablet. You can't stream it to a smart TV because once you start the stream where you sync them together, it cuts the feed. So you can't do that. It does include access to some NFL Network content. And then, of course, you can buy the premium stuff. And we'll do the rundown of all the prices on these here later. But I think the NFL is kind of starting to get the right idea when it comes to this stuff. And I think that it's going to take a few years before we actually see it come full circle and work out in favor of the consumer.
I think if they're smart, they'll get this and they'll run with it instead of selling Sunday Ticket to an outside source. They'll keep it in-house and they'll just stream. They'll do an NFL Plus Sunday Ticket. They don't need to make it $300 and something. They can make it $200 for the year and still make uber amount of money on it. I mean, they're the NFL. They're if they do it and do it correctly, which I think they're working towards that. I think NFL Plus will be a hell of a platform. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point that I was going to come to later on down the road. But since you decided to go ahead and fucking do it now, we'll talk about it now. I think that once the NFL Sunday Ticket, because I'm sure YouTube probably has that contract for 5 years or so. Ryan is doing a little research while I monologue for a second. But once that contract runs out, I think if the NFL absorbed all of their rights back for the games, that the NFL Plus app would definitely take off. I think that everything we want as consumers would be readily available in one app. Now, granted, do I believe that you're still going to have your Amazon Thursday Night Football? Probably so. But if you had NFL Plus Thursday Night Football and it was just a more dumbed down version of what they do with Amazon, I think that would be okay.
So, just an update. The deal is valued at $2 billion annually for
billion with a B.
Billion with a B is what YouTube TV is paying for Sunday Ticket compared to, and that's for 7 years. They have a 7-year contract with Sunday Ticket,
which that just started this season.
Yes. So yeah,
6 more years.
Allegedly. Those can always be renegotiated and somebody else can buy larger sums. So.
Right. And I'm sure the NFLPA probably has a little bit to do with those contract negotiations as well, so that the players get a percentage of the ad revenue and things that come from that type of stuff.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to have all those games, but that's what Sunday Ticket is and always has been. So that they're in it for the money, which everybody's working to make money.
Yeah, but I would argue that it's come to the point where the amount of money that they're trying to get out of this and streaming as a whole, we've seen it with movies, we've seen it with music, and now I think we're starting to see it with live programming. There's a learning curve involved in how to properly monetize it. And I think that now that everybody has an app out there, they're trying to milk it as much as they can. Hell, even Max is going to have a Bleacher Reports add-on that you can do with Max, formerly known as HBO Max. So they're trying to milk all this extra content, trying to take all of our money out of our wallets. And for a lot of folks, that hurts.
Well, and the smart thing to do is pretty much get with family, friends, whatever, and everybody jump in and get all the entertainment needs you need and just share cost savings between apps, which I think the only one that actually kind of they were going to penalize you for it, that was Netflix. Now you just pay, I think, an upcharge a little bit for Netflix.
Yes, you pay an upcharge for Netflix.
But I don't think it's ridiculous.
No, I think it may be you have to upgrade to their premium service.
So it'd be like paying, I don't know. It's not a lot as far as I know to do share your Netflix account with family or friends that don't live right in the same household. So I don't think it's ridiculous. And if that's the way they're going to do it, it would still save everybody money. And that's what needs to happen. They need to realize that these streaming costs, the more you raise it, the more people are going to want to do that to cut their own costs in their own household.
Let's talk about that real quick. I did a cost analysis, and I'm sure you're shocked.
Not at all, because I didn't do one. So let's see what you say.
So I did a cost analysis, and this is a monthly breakdown of if you wanted to watch everything for the 2023 NFL season. So that's including ESPN Plus, that's including Amazon Prime, that's including a local live TV service, whether that's YouTube or DirecTV or what have you, as well as NFL Sunday Ticket. And this is broken down not over the season, but over an entire year. So for basic, that's...
Time out. What's included with basic?
Basic would be the bare minimum with ads for streaming services. That would be buying the a la carte ESPN Plus. That would be buying the Amazon Prime that you can buy monthly without having the added benefits of Amazon Prime, which I still say is one of the best deals out there right now.
So is this including Sunday Ticket or no?
This is including Sunday Ticket, but this is for the entire year. This
so you're breaking it out between 12 months.
12 months. $95 a household for 12 months. Just for football for the 2023-2024 NFL season.
But you're getting a lot of other content for $95 every month.
You are, but
I mean, that's your Disney, that's your ESPN.
No. That's no Disney.
Oh, they streamed a game this year.
That is true. I did not add them to that. So
you messed up your cost analysis.
I did mess up the cost analysis
because that would raise it what, like $10, $15? I don't know what Disney Plus is right now. Standalone.
So Disney Plus, with Hulu and ESPN Plus, is $14.99 a month with ads, $24.99 a month with no ads. ESPN
so
Plus.
We're looking at $110 with ads for the month. $110 with Hulu Plus, Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus
for the year, not per month. So for the year, so $15. Yep. So basically, you would add $5 because I figured this in with the ESPN Plus a la carte, which is $10.99 a month. So we'll just call it $5 extra. So you're saying $100 a month.
105. Yeah, that's fair.
$100 a month.
That's there's still a lot. Like, it's hard to say that that's not a bad deal because look at. Yeah, you're getting ads, but you're still getting all this other content. You're still getting Disney Plus for your children. You're still getting everything they have on Hulu because they've got a lot of selections.
Right.
And most of the time, unless you exclusively watch Hulu, you don't care about ads. Like, they're annoying, but you're going to deal with them.
Right, but we're also not talking about Netflix. We're not talking about Max. We're not talking about, any of the other big conglomerate like Paramount Plus or Peacock where you have multiple networks kind of all together. We're talking about just the apps needed to watch live sports, specifically the 2023-2024 NFL season.
But not everybody cares about everything else. Some people just want the live sports.
I get that. You could potentially knock that down to $25 a month if you got one of those indoor antennas
that barely work.
Work unless you live in like New York City or LA, where the stations are literally like right there. We've tried that here between you and I. We've tried those indoor antennas before, and they suck.
Awful. Worst
Absolutely
experience
awful.
ever.
So,
I accidentally turned to my regular TV because it's still plugged in, sitting on the floor behind it. It picked up something. I don't know what it was, but there was something on the screen.
Yeah. And I also did not include the cost of internet. So if you want high-speed internet capable of streaming live TV, which I think they recommend a minimum of 100 megabits per second, I have a gig. I believe you have
300 meg.
You have 300 meg. So I'm paying $80 a month for internet. You're paying
like 50.
Yeah. So I did not add that in as a cost, which, I mean, now you're talking closer to $200. It'd be, for me, $180 a month. And then for you, it'd be $150 a month factoring in internet, because I totally forgot to factor that in.
What kind of cost analysis is this when you're forgetting stuff?
It's one done by John Carter.
Do better.
For the average household, if you wanted to go ad-free with all these, you're looking at about $125 a month plus the cost of internet. So now you're talking about $230 if you have a gig, or $200 a month if you have the 300 megabit plan that you have. So, I mean, that's a significant price for a lot of people. I mean, I'm very lucky that I can afford that. You're very lucky that you can afford that, but there's a lot of people out there who don't have that luxury of being able to afford all that.
Well, and once again, this is kind of where it comes back to what I was talking about earlier with Netflix. Like, I do love that Netflix gives you an option to share their platform with like, I don't know, it's probably like a $5, $10 upcharge. So, but if you're actually sharing it with somebody and you're actually splitting the cost, it's still saving you money to share your account. And most times, like, I think that's what every streaming service should get to. Like, hey, we know, we get it. And I mean, most streaming services you can share and nobody gives a crap. So
a lot of them, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, there is a plus to them because you don't have to have the cable box. You don't have to have the.
Is it a Disney Plus?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because you can share that. They haven't.
You can.
They haven't cried about it yet.
They haven't cried about it yet. So I'm just going to do just a quick. We're just going to kind of throw the prices out there for all these different streaming services, especially if you're in the market for what you can and cannot get with some of these streaming services. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Again, $14.99 a month with ads, $24.99 a month without ads. You can get ESPN Plus only for $10.99 a month, and with that, you're going to be able to watch some of the European games, as well as obviously you're going to have Saturday night fights with UFC. None of the pay-per-views. Amazon Prime Video. If you want to buy it on its own, you can actually get Amazon Prime Video for $8.99 a month, or for $139 a year. You can get Amazon Prime Video. You can get the 2-day shipping. You can get Amazon Prime Music, and I think you get like one free book from Audible a month or something like that with the standard Amazon Prime plan. That includes Thursday Night Football, comes with Amazon Prime Video. Apple TV Plus is $9.99 a month. They just increased their price from, I believe it was $6.99 a month. You can get Friday Night Baseball. You can get some soccer games.
Yeah, I don't have any Apple devices, so that one doesn't affect me at all.
You don't have to have Apple devices to download it to a smart TV or smart device. Now, for your basic cable streaming services, DirecTV Stream is currently $74.99 a month for their basic package. YouTube TV is $73 a month for basic with no add-ons. You can add on Red Zone for $10.99 a month, or NFL Sunday Ticket for $349 annually. That's $349 annually. Sling, you have the 2 package options. Again, really would not recommend Sling for $40 a month. You can get orange or blue. For $55 a month, you can get orange and blue, and they don't have any local channel support. NFL Plus for basic, $6.99 a month. Local and primetime games only. You can only stream it to a tablet or mobile device, and it also includes NFL Network content. You can upgrade to premium for $14.99 a month, which includes everything from NFL Plus and also includes Red Zone. And we're not sponsored by any of those folks either. So if you would like to sponsor the show and we just read your name, you can get in contact with us.
Yep, that was a good breakdown. I don't know, there was a lot of prices, lots of numbers. Basically, everything's overpriced because everybody keeps raising their prices.
Everybody keeps raising their prices.
Just share it with somebody. Like, cut your own prices. Get somebody that, hey, just Venmo me half the price of whatever you're wanting to share with me this month. We'll move on. I still think that's the best option.
I agree. But for the companies out there who are listening to this, we do not, wink, wink, condone breaking your user agreement and sharing with other people.
Hey, you're
wink,
not
wink.
breaking it with Netflix. They allow it.
That's true.
We'll see what happens. They're going to still keep raising their prices. It's still going to suck for the consumer. And there's still, I think, a writer strike going on, so they're raising prices and you're not getting any content.
Yeah. The writer strike, I do believe, is still going on. I believe the actor strike.
Yeah, I think it's the actors now. I think the writer strike settled. I think the actors are the one having the problems now. But still, there's no new comment or content in the pipeline.
Reality TV is going through the roof.
Who cares?
That's my point. Now everything is just reality TV because you don't have to pay
How
actors.
many times do we need to watch Kim Kardashian do something?
0.
I mean, you can kind of admit to an extent the Kardashians are a great business plan because they've made a lot of money doing whatever they've been doing.
Bitch, tell me again how you not the Hobbit. Please tell me you've seen that episode of South Park.
Nope.
We're watching it after this.
Definitely not.
So, final verdict. Is streaming killing the live sports star?
Yes and no. I'm still split. And the reason I'm still split is because it is making it more available on more platforms. But it's also costing the consumer more money, depending on if they don't have those platforms or not. So I'm split kind of down the middle, because I think even Sunday tickets more readily available now, because not everybody wanted DirecTV or satellite on their house or whatever it was. So I think, and you can buy Sunday ticket as a standalone with YouTube TV and not buy it with YouTube TV plus Sunday ticket. So if you just cared about football, you got to pay. I think it's paying a little less, I believe, or it might be a little. I think it might be a little more, because they're not getting that monthly fee. So instead of paying like $350 for you wanting all of YouTube TV, it might be $450 just for the football season. But you're not getting that monthly fee out of it either. So I'm kind of split on if it's killing it or making it more available, depending on how you want to look at it. Because I still think the NFL is doing it mostly right.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you are. I think I'll take it a step further, that I think they are making it more available, but just because it's available doesn't mean that it's affordable. And by doing so, people are having to be more selective about what they're getting, because obviously everybody's going to want to get more bang for their buck, so to speak. So I think you're going to probably start seeing a lot less of these exclusive deals, where certain games and events can only be watched on certain platforms. And I think you're probably going to start seeing more of those live TV services, such as Spectrum and Dish Network and DirecTV, YouTube TV, all those. I think you're probably going to start seeing their prices go up, because they're going to be getting more of this exclusive content. You're shaking your head no.
I don't believe so. You have too many top tier streaming services already out there. Granted, YouTube TV, DirecTV, all these bigger names are still going to be the big names. I don't think Sling TV.
No, I think Sling is probably on the downside.
Or any of those littler, smaller market things are going to ever be what YouTube TV is, because YouTube had a platform before, and then they just built it into a live service.
Correct.
So, and it worked.
Yeah,
they had a service.
I would say YouTube TV is probably one of the more successful.
I think they're going to go up on the upswing. Like, I think they're gonna keep doing this, and their live service TV is really good.
Yes, I'm very pleased with YouTube TV. As far as a consumer goes for their live TV stuff, I'm very pleased with the multicast. So when it comes to college football, college basketball, and even NFL games, if there's multiple games at the same time, they have a multicast where you can watch all the games at once. And then if you want to listen to the audio of any of those games, you just highlight it and it plays the audio. And then if you just want to watch that single game, you go into that game and it's full screen. So YouTube TV is definitely doing things right. I just think that because they're doing things right, they're going to get more of these rights to the exclusive content, and that we're going to start seeing their prices go up, because people are going to be more inclined to buying into their platform versus the other platforms that are just standalones.
But at least if more people are buying into their platform than the standalones, you're getting more content for your buck. So you're going to start spending less in other places and spending more in one place.
So let's say that streaming isn't killing the live sports star, but it's definitely putting a dude down. All right. Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
Not at all, dude.
All right. So if you want to follow us on social media, check us out on Instagram at Rarely Sophisticated. Check us out on X at RS Podcast X.
Questions or comments, please email us at rarelysophisticated@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear you about it. Our podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Join us next Tuesday. Thank you. We're out.